the most important thing I would say is to have projects and deploy them. So for example, at the end of boot camp, you typically have a capstone project. It looks a lot more impressive to an interviewer if the capstone project isn't just designed by you. Maybe you have a friend who's a designer. Have them look at it and sort of give you tips or make it look more professional. The flip side of this is that people who are judging your resume aren't going to dive into the code and or at first will take a superficial look at your project. So the superficial things are important. Get the design looking professional and looking good and probably looking pretty standard. Secondly, deploy it online. It's much more impressive if your project is at least deployed on Heroku, which should be fairly simple to set up. And once it's deployed on Heroku, I would also recommend going through the effort to learn Route 50, Amazon's DNS service, Route 53, to give it an actual URL, like a vanity URL. Once you have those three things, a project that is not necessarily distinguished by its technical merits, looks a lot better. So more to the point, doing all of these things is a great way to keep is a good North Star for how to keep learning things. If you started out learning the front end, learn a bit of back end, then deploy the back end, then add some continuous integration, then you'll probably learn bash scripting at the same time because you have to figure out how to SSH into your servers, or maybe you learn Kubernetes or something like that. But just learn at least a little bit, a little bit of the entire stack, and have some sort of projects. Having a project that's actually deployed and maintained, which in full honesty, I don't have any right now, other than my personal website, but that doesn't require any maintenance and hasn't been touched in years, so that doesn't count. Having a project that's actually deployed and ideally has users will force you to learn about a lot of different aspects of programming. Right. And I think is probably the best way, at least at first, to orient yourself to what else should I learn?